All right, it's Friday. So, I'm going to introduce the assignment today. Feel free to work on that today. I'm going to look at a review problem or two. So you're free to follow along when I walk through those here. If you haven't finished up Yahtzee here, remember we looked at Yahtzee. We looked at a number of the different route or scoring options for Yahtzee. Here, let me see where my Yahtzee is. Go to unit 12 Yahtzee here. So things like scoring four of a kind and full house. I wanted you to do as many of these as you could here and post. But for the discussion, you just have to post one of them there, and then look at some other people's work and provide some alternative ones here. I think this week I said just provide an alternative solution to one other post there. Um, so yeah, so again, if you want to work some more on that, you can. Um, Monday, we looked a little bit at this array list activity, and part of that, where we really didn't get much to, was writing methods for these things. I think we did the print list, the random list. We looked at, I think, a little bit too, but that's just filling a list with random numbers, given some here. But find largest or some, max large one, something that finding the smallest item in an array, list, summing up a list and finding the average of a list. These are things you should be able to do. You should do them in a number of things. You should be able to do them with arrays. You should be able to do them with array lists. Uh, and you should kind of, do them enough times so that they seem like you know how to do them. Like summing up an array or an array list, you think, oh, it's just a for loop. I need to declare a sum. I need to add each item to that sum and then return that sum or do something with that sum when I'm done here. Um, and you're like, yeah, and then like average, I need to do that, but I also need to have a count. And at the end, I need to divide the sum by the count. And then again, largest and smallest, what are the ways you can do that? Because you often use those. And again, one of these we'll use in this week's assignment also. So, okay, so yeah, you're free to work if you want to return to that as a review post. I'm going to jump into the assignment first this week and look at this. I think this is a kind of fun assignment. Uh, on the internet or various visualization stuff, you'll often see these icon bar racing things, these visualizations that show these bars moving left and right over time for different things. And kind of visualizing data, and the bars jump up and down and stuff like that. So we have software that's going to do that, but it doesn't all work. So you're gonna finish this up here. So you're gonna grab one of these projects, either the zip file or the GitHub here, and bring it. So this is my Java. It shows up. Where does it show up? At the top under bar chart racer array list. There. And there are 4 files here. The bar file just keeps track of how to draw a single bar for that and compare it to other bars. The chart actually draws out the chart, the bars. We can add bars and draw them. And it does the calculation for how to draw them out. The standard draw is just some routines for drawing some methods that we use here. But we'll be using this bar, just the bar chart file here. that we want to do. So we want to look at barchart.java for this. The bar chart race array list actually is the array list for the bar chart. So this is an array list of the different bar charts here. And so the bar chart is just one of those things here. So this is what we'll be working on. What we actually have is an array list, and inside that array list are a bunch of other array lists. And to get it less complicated, we're just having you look at one bar kind of thing here. So you got our one chart, and again, this chart evolves over time. So you're given one bar chart. You're given 3 array lists, the names, the values, and the colors of this sort of stuff. And these are 3 kind of parallel arrays. We'll want to try to add, when we add a bar to create a new bar chart, we'll want to set its color, its value, and its name here. So we have this add bar for this, and we're going to get the color, we're going to get the name, and we're going to get the value. And your job is to do this. Add color to the colors array list, add the name to the names array list, and add the value to the value array list. You've got to do some checks that the value variable is greater than 0, add it to the list. If it's less than 0, you just add 0 to the list for that. So we're just going to ignore negative values because we can't graph those here. So you've got to just do that. It's just a couple lines, 5, 6 lines of code. Shouldn't be that hard. You're given these array lists already, and you can add, and you're given the colors, the new color, the new name, and the new value to add to the lists. Then the other thing we have to do is down and draw to get this to work. Right now, the number of bars is set to 0. You've got to set that equal to the number of bars in our array lists here. So again, right here in the draw method, you'll see number of bars variable declared at the beginning, and it's going to be set to 0. Set that to the number of items in the names array list. You can actually use any of the lists up here. Again, they should all be the same size because every time we add a name, we add a color, we add a value here. But for easiest thing, you can just use the names list. So set that to the size of that. So that's the number of bars. And then we have an if then here, and we have something called X max, which we're trying to describe set up here. This is our X max. And we want to set that. What do we want to set X max to? Inside the if statement, you'll see X max variable declared. Set this variable to the largest value in the values array. To do this, you must loop through the values array to find the largest. And again, remember, I was just talking about that. It's nice to have a method to find the largest of a set of arrays and find the smallest. Well, this is an example when we're going to need that. So you're going to want to, okay, in the draw method, we have this, if the number of bars is greater than 0, then we set X max. We don't want to set it necessarily to negative infinity. We want to set it to the largest of all the values. Because we're going to draw the chart out, we need to know how big the chart is. So we're going to look, you have this values array. You're going to find the max of the values array, the biggest one there, and set X max to that. So you're going to have to add some code in here to do that. And again, right here, that's where you'd want to put that code. Okay. And then if you get that code set up correctly and run this, it should show, what are we doing? Movies? The popular movies over time for this stuff. Questions on that? Okay. So again, feel free to work on that. Feel free to work on the Yahtzee some more. Feel free to do some of this review. I'm going to go into the review problems, the practice problems, and look at a couple of those, I think, at least one. I was looking at this and last night I was trying to figure out which one I wanted to do, and I was really hungry last night for pizza, so I think I'm going to do the pizza one here. So we're gonna display it. So I'm going to do this. We have this code. I'm going to start with this code here, which allows you to order one item from the menu. So I'm going to start with that. I'm going to start a new project. Unit 12, pizza practice. I'm going to grab this main routine here and just paste that into the pizza practice problem. Import my scanner, clear out some of these comments. I'm just going to run this. Let me make some room down here. So it's going to ask me how many items do I want to order. I'm going to say 2. What would you like to order? I'd like to order a number 3, a pesto turkey, and a number 4, a veggie ball. Okay, and it then prints out these things, but it only keeps track of a single item we order. We ask how many items we want to order, and we get a menu item, and we keep reading that in, and then we display that menu item. But you notice I ordered 2 things. I said I wanted 2 things, and I wanted a pesto turkey, and then I wanted a veggie ball, and it just told me, oh, your veggie ball. It just remembered the last one, because again, it doesn't use an array list for this. So I'm going to change this, see what I have in my practice problems, I say. Given the code displays the following menu, the given code also allow the user to order one item. Here, change program so it keeps track of more than one item. Create an array list of integers to store the menu items. Add each item to the array list, and then when the order is done, display items in the array list. So that's what I'm going to want to do, is store the items, integers. So right now, let's see how this works. Here's my main. Bring this up a little bit. Here's my main. Print out, welcome to Pizza Luce. How many items you want to order? Read in that. That's the max items. Then I have this menu order number, and that's an integer. And so then I display the menu. I go through a loop for each item. I display this, and then I get their input, and I store it here. And so this is what I want to change. And then finally, I call display order and pass it in, give it that one number. So display menu displays the whole menu. Display order item will display one of the items that have been ordered for this. And they're based on what number they ordered. Okay, so let's change this. So what do I want to do here? So right now, it said I'm just storing as an integer one item. I want to store this as an array list of items, of integers for this. So how do I do this? How do I declare? I want to, that menu or item thing, I want it as an array list. So I'm going to say how do I do array lists? Array list of integers and call it menu order items, and then initialize it to new array list of integers. And I have to do my parenthesis there, I think. Integer. Oops. I have to import array list up here. Okay. So now menu order num. I'm going to change that to nums or maybe list, menu order list. Now to list. And now I'm going to have to go through. So now I go through and they ask to display so many items and I just storing that. And this is saying, well, this is a list or this variable is a name here, but here's my item I want to order. I'm going to add that to my list. So how do I add it to this list here? So if I have an array, I want to add this. So how do I want to do that? So I have an array of integers. I can just say menu order list dot add and then do parenthesis and the index. And for the index, what I'm going to add is this. I'm going to get the. Now I could maybe store that as a temporary variable and add it there, or I could add it directly. I'm just going to do that, I think. Add it to the list. And maybe I'll comment that. Read in the menu selection and add to the order list. So now as we're going through this, we'll do this. Now, we'll add each item to this list. And then now down here, I'll display this. Now, this wants just a single integer, and we'll look at that integer and display it correctly. I could change that, but menu order is now an array list. I want to maybe go through the array list and do this repeatedly for each one. So how do I loop? I want to call display order item for each item in the list. So I'm going to say, I'm going to use a for each loop for each item in the list. And each item's an integer. So for each int item in menu order list, I'll loop through the more order lists, and then I'm going to call this display item for that. So now I'll loop. I have ability. I already had a routine to display one item, but now I have an array list. So I'm going to loop through each and get each item from the list and then call my display item for that. Maybe I'll add a little printout before this. Your order is, I don't know, what do I print off here? Yeah, let's try that. So now, if I run this, does it run? I'm still getting an error here. Oh yeah. I don't think I have to say the type necessarily up there, but that's okay. How many items? I'm gonna order 3 items. I want to order a chicken pesto. I want to order another. Make this a little smaller here. Another, let's do a veggie ball, and let's do another chicken pesto. See that. And your order is pesto turkey, veggie ball, and another pesto turkey. So it looks like that's doing what we needed to do here. Create an array list of integers to store the menu items. That's what this is. Add each item order to the array list. This is add to the array list. And then when the order is done, display each item in the array list. So I put a loop around this and then display each item in that. That looks good. I'm going to see what else they have here. So use the following array list to print out the names of items corresponding to the numbers in the list. Let's try that. I'm going to grab this code here. So it is kind of weird that we have this, we hard code the array here, and also we kind of hard code it in here for this. We have all these, if the number is 1, we do this. If the number is 2, we print this out. So what we're going to do is create an array list called menu items, and we're going to add the items to the menu list. So that when they pick number 1 out, 1 will be the chicken bowl. Here, 2 will be this. And one challenge we have is that array lists are 0 indexed here, but when we ask them to print out the menu, we're going to ask them to do 1, 2, 3. So what we're actually going to do is add a dummy item to the array list, and I'm just going to say menu items there, and then have each item on the list. So the first index 1 will be the first item rather than the 0th on, because we got this kind of dummy value we added here. Sometimes we use this method when we have to worry about what we're displaying to the user versus the index we use internally. So, okay, so we're adding the items list. Now I can get rid of all this stuff, and I can just, to print off the item, I can just say, rather than doing like this, I know what item number is, so I can just print off menu items dot get, and then specify the item number there. And then I don't have to do any of this stuff. So I have this array, I've got the item they ordered, and I can just print that item from the list. Now if I run this, how many items I want to order? I want to order 2 items this time. I'm going to do the baked potato pizza and a pesto turkey. And it then printed off those items here. One thing I was wondering about this is now, can I use this same array to display the menu here? So here I'm just displaying this menu items. So can I just get rid of that and do this? So can I just loop through my array for each int, now each thing in the array is a string. For each string, menu item in menu items, I keep wanting to write in there. It's in this language, it's actually a colon, right? And then I want to do something like that. The problem is that menu items is scoped, it's only defined down here and not up here. So I have to redefine it or move this somewhere else. So I'm going to move it somewhere else. This is a class, you can actually, I'm going to need it in multiple methods. So I'm going to use this and scope this outside, not in any one particular method, not in the main or any method, but in the class itself. And then I can use it anywhere in this class for this. Except I think I'm getting I'm getting a problem with static. If I do that here, I need to make this a static, I think, variable. Yeah, that's happier. It's just a weird thing. You'll learn more better ways to handle this if you take Java 2. But since the main is static, things around main have to be static, and all of our methods everything has to be static in this way. So I'm going to do all this adding in my main method up here. Actually, I think I'm just going to do, For my main method, I'm going to initialize the menu array here. So one place. And then display it. See how this is looking. How many menus do you want to order? I want to order 3 items. Oh, it didn't actually display the menu. Let's see what went wrong there. Oh, I have this for menu item here, but I didn't actually do anything. So I want to do a system out print line and print out the menu item. Now let's try that. How many items you want to order? I'm going to order 3 items. I want to order a number 3, a number 5, and a number 1. And then it shows my order here. So then again, I've commented out all this code. Here, display the menu. I'm actually going to move this. I think this should actually be up here. Okay, let's see how that looks. My items you want to order. I want to order 1, another 1, and a 4. Yep. What's nice about this new arrangement with array lists is it's very easy to expand or change my menu. The menu is only in one spot here. So if I want to add, let's say I have another item on my menu items, I can add that to this list here. So I can add let's do a menu items, add, and add number 6. It's fall. Let's add a pumpkin pie to the menu. And I can add as many ones I want, and it'll just automatically be displayed here. I can order it. I can order something else, and one more thing there. So very easy now to change the menu. The menu is just set up in one spot. here. Everything. My display menu is very simple. Just loop through and display each menu item. My display order item is, again, just if I'm given an item number, display that corresponding item in my other array, my menu items array. Okay. I'm going to pause for the around and ask questions, and I think I'll do one more review problem after this. I'm going to go through one more review problem, so if you want to watch, you can, or try it out. Also, you can. I'm going to do this deck of cards one here. The goal here is to create an array of all the decks of cards, all the different cards. So there are 4 suits, hearts, diamonds, clubs, spades, and in each suit there are 13 cards: ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, jack, king, queen. So we want to create a string that would say like 2 of hearts, and another one would be the jack of diamonds there. So we want to do that. So we're going to start with these 2 arrays of the values and the suits. Got to import array lists here. To do this initialization, I'm also using some arrays, so I have to do that. It's hard to initialize array lists if you remember it correctly. So what we have to do is create an array and then convert that into array list for this. So that's what we're doing here. Let's see, where am I getting error? Well, for some reason, I lost my quotes around some of these values. So ace should be in quotes. 7 should be in quotes. Yeah. Okay. All right, so those are my 2 arrays. Now I'm going to try to create my actual cards from these array lists. So I need an array list for my deck cards. It's going to be an array list of strings and deck of cards. New array list strings. First thing I want to do is just see if I can print off all the strings here, and then I'll want to add them to the list. So it says to loop through each of the card values and then print each one out. So I'm going to loop through. How do I loop through each of these card values? I can just use a for each loop for each. These are strings, value, in card values. And I'm just going to print this out, system dot out dot print line, just to try it out. And I'm just going to print out value. So it should print off all the values. Let's see if that'll work. So yeah, it's ace through king, and so that's fine. But now I'm going to do this multiple times. I'm going to do it 4 times. Once for the hearts, once for the diamonds, for each of the card suits. So I'm going to surround this with another for loop here. So I'm going to put a for loop inside, or else I could put a for loop inside here. I'm going to put this for loop outside for the string. What is this? The suit and the card suits to, and again, I'm going to move this loop inside that loop and do a little indenting. Let's just clean up the formatting there. So this loop is inside that loop. So now I'm going to print off the card value and the card suit here. So I'm going to print out the value, and can I just concatenate the suit? Feel that works. Working, so it's saying like 10 diamonds, jack diamonds, 6. So I wanted to say maybe 6 of clubs or 9, ace of spades. So I'm gonna put an of in there. So I'm just not gonna print off the value. Plus, I'm gonna say of plus the suit. Try that out. So that's king of spades, but I really want a space before the O and a space after the F of each one. So I'm gonna put in some spaces here on this again. So, okay, this is looking like a deck of cards now. Ace of hearts, 5 of hearts, king of hearts, yeah, 4 of clubs. So I have all the hearts, all the diamonds, all the clubs, and all the spades. That looks good. So now, rather than printing them off, I'm going to add them to my array of deck of cards. Here's my deck of cards. I'm going to say deck of cards dot add, and add this to it. And I don't have to print them off here. So that is so this is really, again, creating the deck cards. Create the deck cards. Now I'm going to print them off here. Print out the deck of cards for each. Now, in this for each loop, I'm going to print out my deck of cards. So for each card, which is a string card in deck of cards, I'm going to just print off the card. So that should print off my deck of cards now. This is like I did before. So I kind of initialized my whole deck of cards and I print it all off. I guess I was kind of doing it here, but I like this. What I'm going to do now is break these into methods. I'd like to have little methods here. So this is the end of main method. So after that, I'm going to do a public static void and do what's my first one, like create deck. And put this code into that. And then do another public static void print deck. And put this in that one. Move it up a little bit. So now up here, I'm just going to say create deck. And then I'm going to say print deck. Now, I need to pass some things around. So like print deck needs the deck of cards here. So I'm going to pass it the deck of cards. So it's going to need a array list of strings, all deck of cards. I'm going to call it the same name here. What's my array list called here? Okay, so that solves the error. So I pass in the deck of cards to the print deck, and it'll print it off. Actually, I'm going to change this. I'm just going to call it deck here. I think that's a little easier in this print off each deck. Okay, so I pass in my deck of cards variable here. It's renamed deck, and it'll print it off. Create deck. It needs deck of cards too, so I have to do something similar here. And just like above, I need to pass in the deck of cards into this. I'll just rename, keep that the same name, I guess. I don't know. It also needs these two arrays. So should I pass those in? One thing is, I think I can just put these in the, I only need those in this one method. So I can just declare those in this one method here. And I don't need them anywhere. I don't actually need them in the main method. So I'm just going to move those back down here. So how does that work? So that prints off my deck of cards. So I declare an array of a deck of cards. I'll just get rid of that error. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay. I'm going to declare my array list of a deck of cards. I'm going to create the deck and pass it to the cards. I'm going to print off the deck of cards here. Now, one thing it does ask me to do is swap two cards in the deck here. So that it shuffles it here. So I'm going to add a method for that. So I can add a method called a public static void shuffle deck. And again, I need my array of cards here. Now, it says to pick random numbers here, create a random number generator, and pick a random card here. Random not imported. I need to import that, don't I? Okay. So this is picks one random card here, and I'm gonna have two. So random card 1 and random card 2. And I want to shuffle though. I want to swap those. Now, how do I swap? Let's say I want to swap the fourth and fifth card around. I can set how do I set the cards? So I can go deck of cards, or I'm just calling it deck dot set. Is there a set? There is a set, and I need the index. So let's say I want to set the fourth card to some element here. do some string, and I want to do the same thing. So I could set that to deck of cards, deck.get, and get the fifth element. Problem with swapping here is that now whatever was at the fourth card has been overwritten by the fifth card here. So it might be better. I want to try to create two strings. Card, yeah, card one equals, I'm just going to go deck dot get. I'm just going to try, eventually I'm going to do this random numbers. For now, I'm just thinking of swapping the fourth and fifth one. So I'm going to get the fourth card and the fifth card, and then I'm going to swap them around. I'm going to set the fourth one to card 2, and then I'm going to set the fifth one to card 1. And that should shuffle those two cards. Let's just run this and see if 4 and 5 are swapped. I'll run this. 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so 4, 5. They seem to be the same here. Doesn't look like I swapped them. Deck.set. Card 1, deck.set card 1. I'm going to test this out. Yeah, I have this nice method here called shuffle deck. I'm not actually calling it up here, am I? So I'm going to have to call it. Yeah, it's never actually run. Okay, I was wondering what was going on. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, now I'm calling this, run this. Here's my 2 tests. That's fine. Okay, so now I'm going to do card 2 here, card 2, and card 1 here. See if that works. So now the 4 and the 5 of hearts have been swapped. Now, it's kind of weird, but notice that it goes 4, 6, 5 there. I still have them all, but why is the 6th one there? Huh. I'm getting 5 and 4 and setting them, so it's doing that. I'm not sure why that. So what happens sometimes when you set things is you just don't overwrite the cards necessarily. When you set something, it kind of has to redo the deck and take something out and put it back in. So apparently when it's doing that, it's not preserving the order, but I want to shuffle these anyway. So I think this is still going to be okay here. But I just want to do this with random cards. Let's see if this will work. So That'll be my random card. Let me just call this random number. Random index. And random index 2. Oops. I'm putting the indexes in the wrong spot. So okay, random index 1 and 2, random. So I'm going to get random index 1 and random index 2, and then I'm going to take what was at random index 1 and put in card 2 there. And I'm going to take what was in random index 2 and put card 1 there. I think that'll shuffle 2 random cards in the deck. It's hard to tell because here's the 7 of clubs is in here. Where's the 7 of clubs? Here. And the 10 of hearts is down here. That looks like it did do a shuffle. That shuffled 1 card. I'm going to do this a bunch of times, maybe 100 times for int I equals 0, I less than 100, I plus plus. Do this. A 100 times. Now, if I run this looks like it's shuffling and looks like I still have basically all the cards there. I'm not overwriting all the cards, it looks like. So this looks like it's shuffling all the cards appropriately. I think that'll shuffle all the cards for us. Okay. Oh, I'll stop this.